Even before he became Darth Bane of the Sith, the young man known then as Dessel had untapped potential in the Force. Growing up as a poor Cortosis miner on the planet Apatros, Dessel was forced to contend with his abusive father, who blamed Dessel for the death of his wife, who tragically passed away during childbirth. Because of this, Hurst, Dessel's father, would berate and even harm him physically. It was on one of these nights, after having a very physical confrontation with his father, that a young Dessel lay in bed, and in his mind, he envisioned a massive hand squeezing his father's heart tightly. The next day, his father Hurst would be found dead, with all signs indicating a heart attack. It wouldn't be until years later that Dessel, or Bane at this point, would realize that it was he himself who killed his father using his immense power in the Force, which he hadn't even known he had to such a degree at that time in his young life. This was the first major instance in which Bane showed his immense power, and it was before he was even a Sith. After joining the Sith, Bane held great respect for the Sith who came before him and recognized that the current Sith, the Brotherhood of Darkness, basically disregarded the Sith of old and their teachings while Bane relished them. This will lead Bane to manipulate Lord Khan of the Brotherhood into unleashing the Thought Bomb, an incredible weapon that targeted all Force users in the surrounding area, and in doing so, the end of the Sith came to pass as well as the lives of 100 Jedi Knights from the Jedi Army of Light. Afterwards, Darth Bane put into effect the rule of two, stating there should be only two Sith at one time, Master and Apprentice, one to wield power, the other to crave it. Bane got this idea from the holocron of Darth Revan, which stated, "Those who accept the dark side also accepts the power of holding on to it. By its very nature, the dark side invites rivalry and strife. It's the greatest strength of the Sith. It calls the weak from our order. The power of the dark cannot be dispersed among the masses. It must be concentrated in the few who are worthy of the honor." Bane would take on his first apprentice soon after the Sith's destruction and give her the name Darth Zana. Bane would then teach her the ways of the Force and the Sith until the two had their final encounter, once it came time for Zana to attempt to overthrow her master and become the one true Sith Master. But I won't get into that because I do already have a video covering the event if you're interested. As I already mentioned, Bane's power in the Force was immense. His physical power was great as well, as he was a massive human being due to the years of working in the Cortosis mines on Apatros. Bane was also very proficient in lightsaber combat, and once during a training session while on Korriban during a torrential downpour, Bane swung his saber over and around his head at such incredible speed and precision that he blocked every single drop of rain from hitting himself for 10 minutes straight and was left completely dry afterwards. Having also used his power in the Force to spin his weapon at a greater speed than would be normal otherwise, and was able to form a shield above himself. Bane preferred the defensive style of lightsaber combat Jim So, and took advantage of his size and brute strength to overwhelm his opponents. Lord Khan, the leader of the Brotherhood of Darkness, even viewed Bane as a great lightsaber duelist. He was trained by Blade Master Qasim, the Twi'lek Sith, who was of course a great duelist himself, and even gifted Bane a raid-bladed weapon with a curved hilt that Bane would go on to use long afterwards. Sometime after destroying the Sith and leaving the Brotherhood, Bane would become even stronger in the Force when the parasitic Orbalists would latch onto Bane, which fed off of him, leaving him in a constant pain and discomfort. However, in a similar circumstance to Darth Vader, the pain and anger made Bane even stronger in the Force. The shells of the Orbalists themselves were impervious to lightsaber blows, making Bane nearly impossible to fight. Bane would eventually become free of the Orbalists, even though it nearly killed him in the process. We also have a video covering these events if you would like to check that one out as well. Darth Bane is considered by many, including myself, to be the Sithari, the prophesied chosen one of the Sith. The prophecy states, "The Sithari will be free of limits. The Sithari will lead the Sith and destroy them. The Sithari will raise the Sith from death and make them stronger than before. The term was first used by the first king of the Sith, King Adus, and after his death it became somewhat of a legend and prophecy of a Sith who would eventually bring its fulfillment. Bane did indeed accomplish all of these things stated in the prophecy as he destroyed and rebuilt the Sith from their ashes. Even Darth Tenebrous, the Sith master of Darth Plagueis, who was Palpatine's master, believed that Bane was the prophesied Sithari. While Plagueis more or less dismissed the prophecy, while he also stated that if the Sithari title fit anyone, it was himself. Bane's feats and accomplishments makes him one of the most influential Sith who ever lived, and the culmination of Bane's rule of two would of course come with Sidious and Vader, and the destruction of most of the Jedi for over 20 years until they would rise up once more. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as I always say in my videos about Darth Bane, his trilogy of books are my all-time favorites in Star Wars, and I highly recommend them to anyone. Thanks so much for watching, and of course, may the Force be with you.